Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is part 4 of my monthly observations for 2025. Part 4 looks at the reality numbers in the current month's chart. The reality number, numerologically speaking, is telling us the end states, the end results we're likely to hit upon by working with the other dynamics that I've run through in the other videos. It is often seen as the place we get to in our retirement, and yet on a day-to-day level, on a spiritual level, retirement is every second. In a way that we're coming to retirement, we're coming to our end point in every second, in a way that every second, of course, can be an attainment. So this February 2025, we have on the generic every year level for February a 44.8. That's a master number. I've talked about 44.8 a little on the website on the monthly observations page in the section about reality number. What I've written there isn't here. In other words, what I'm just about to run through is an extra to that, but feel free to do-si-do between those two elements, the written and the video, to get the whole message. The specific reality number, which I get by adding 44.8 to the reality number for this year, 2025, is a 2172, which reduces to 3. So we've got 44.8 and 21723. And the nice thing in that is we've got 3, 4, 7, and 8 rocking up in that lineup. Not because they're special numbers or more special numbers, but you see, 3 is realizing. 3 is also go with the flow, learn what flow is, to actually even be able to go with it, to actually even be able to witness it and welcome it in. So 3 is very much about flow, yes, processing, yes, communicating to self as well as anybody else, as well as the universe. But 3 big time is manifesting, creating, creation. 4 is, as I've mentioned in my part 2 and 3 videos for this month. 4 is the builder. 4 is therefore, are you building well enough? How can you build better? Not as a criticizing question, but as an opportunity to enhance and improve and get everywhere you know you can be. 44.8 is all about success. 8 is the fine-tuning of the recipe. It is the fine-tuning, therefore, of our awareness of just what it takes and just what it doesn't want to take in order to get what we're really, and therefore reach, attain, experience what we're here to as a life, as a path, let alone in the next minute. 21723, because it's got that 7, it talks about getting it, practical wisdom. I actually get what life is asking me to get right now. So 7 is the point where there are no more questions. There is no more doubt. We're clear on it. Yeah. 3 is realize, the light bulb goes on. 4 is, I'm starting to understand that now, and therefore I'm more aware. I'm more eyes open as I interface with the world and my reality. 7 is the point where, having done those things for a little while, now we really get how things flow. We don't need to think about our responses in that context anymore. We just get on and do it because we've lived it, we've breathed it, we know it inside and out. Through those things, we then come to 8, which is the ability to really sense everything we're here for and to get on and do that. 8 again is success. It is the manifestation of the journey over time, but also in this instance as a sense of, this is what I'm here for. This is a sense of where I'm going. And often, if we're talking about manifesting and creating and attracting, so often in those sorts of realms as theory, we can be, or at least we can pick up the suggestion or interpret what the teachings as saying that, to get anywhere, you've got to bang on at the universe. We've just got to keep harping and nagging and, drawing things up and creating visual boards or, writing things down all the time and just keep verbally banging on its source until it delivers. That, of course, is an overstatement, and yet any level of that is also an overstatement of what we really need to do, because in one sense, Affirmations aren't there for the universe's sake. They're there for ours. They're there for that part of us that is yet to fully know that we can attain, be, become, have, whatever, do, whatever it is that our gut feel is telling us is possible this life. It is only mind that says, oh, no, you may not be able to. Oh, there may not be enough left. You know what? Others might pip you to the post, whatever those words are. It's mind that creates the pitfall. It's mind that creates the stuckness and the limitation and therefore the fear. And so on one level, 8, 7 is that place where we move beyond all of those things, ideally. 7 is also the place where we can experience those things in a louder form so that we're encouraged to process them and therefore move beyond them. Having done all of that, we're crystal clear on our vision, ideally. Having done all of that, we've just created the room because we're not filling our space with ourselves or our narratives, our limitations, Because of that, we're allowing space to be more open, and therefore we're allowing space for the intuition to drop in, for the divine to actually give us the messages that are about, you know what, don't go that way, go this way. You know what, you're here to do this, not that. Whatever it is. So 8 is the point where we're crystal clear on how to create the visions or the senses, the directions, the adventures even, that we're intuiting we're here for in that moment. In that sense, all of this is saying that this February is here very much to continue January's developments that were along the lines of crystallizing the landscape for people, clarifying where the boundaries were in terms of what I want, what I don't want, what I accept, what I don't want to accept, what I want to represent, what I want to live in, as and amongst. This February 2025 feels from its chart to be a time that is very much consolidating on those discoveries, but doing it in a way that is quite possibly going to play out as a very conscious, I got it sort of time, a very conscious, you could say light bulb moment, conscious in terms, you know what, I am now crystal clear on what I need to do, the bits I need to shed or leave behind or throw away, whatever those words are, even just release. And therefore, the bits that really I just need to focus on. Now, that's really interesting because part of that sometimes for a human being involves us letting go of everything outside of us, letting go of that awareness of what's outside, even the concern or the focus on what's outside. In a way that therefore brings us back to the point in our connection with Source where we are so focused because we don't need to worry about what's outside us as a first step. What we need to make sure is that we're well connected, we're intuiting, and therefore we're receiving and channeling, surrounded by and protected by the right level of energy. If you know your brief as a felt state and as a very clear sensation, then you don't need to be aware or mindful of others moving forward. That doesn't mean that you become a steamroller or arrogant or uncaring. What that means is that when we connect to truly spiritual energies, we receive a guidance that does take care of everyone at the same time. So the assumption is that we're connecting well in the first place. If you choose the highest level of guidance there is, if you choose that guidance because you want the best, whatever your words are for that guidance, if you know that that guidance is real, if you know that it is capable and willing to guide you whenever it wants, however it needs to, and however you can receive it, then that's what will start to manifest. And if you stand in that as a dynamic, if you breathe that in as an awareness in a way that it becomes you, then all of a sudden we don't need to worry about what's going to happen next. We just have to worry about sinking in with that flow, sinking in with that level of intelligence, receiving it, hearing it, and acting on it in a way that is You could say small step. In other words, open to change, open to more guidance, open to instruction, flexible, but also in a way that knows that you're not here to fail on your mission unless you think you are. You're not here not to succeed on why you are here as a spiritual being, irrespective of how that plays out in the human or the physical realm. In other words, you can't fail if you're being true to yourself. So in that sense, and on that note, I'll close by offering, should we say, the exercise of, again, define the universe as something that is ever helpful. Know that it always has your back. Allow it to be that way, even if you're not quite sure. Turn around to it, and for the next week, 2 weeks, actually say, you know what, I'm going to actually allow you, Source, to prove yourself on that level, to reveal yourself on that level, in a way that I'm not hitting it back out the field if it comes my way. I'm actually going to move into a scientific experiment zone to see whether this is possible. Because often just by doing that, the universe goes, great, you're going the right way, you're definitely on track, and because of that, I'm going to present to affirm what you've just allowed yourself to experience. So all the very best to you. If you need a hand with this sort of stuff or anything on the invisible level, spiritual level, energetic level, intuitive level, please let me know. Take good care, travel well, have a wonderful February 2025. And if you need to get in contact, use the details on my contact page at psychicandenergywork.com.au. See you next month.